That feel when you thought you were gonna kill yourself in your early 20s, so you just NEETed for years with no care in the world. That feel when 10 years later and you know you won't kill yourself, so you are trying to get out of NEETdom while 10 years behind everyone else. The future looks bleak. What do we do? In the grand scheme of things, it's not really so different from if you were still in your early 20s and just now starting to get your shit together. Some employers want only people straight out of undergrad, yeah, but there are entry-level positions looking to hire people like you. Yeah, you're 10 years behind in some sense, but there's no particular reason to compare yourself to people your age. There's always going to be people richer and more successful than you, and there's always going to be people in a shittier situation. Your comparative success doesn't really matter, your progress in the here and now does matter, because the here and now is where you live. I haven't been a NEET for 2 years, and believe me, working doesn't make shit better. I'm still suicidal and socially awkward. The only difference now though is I can't hide away my awkwardness. I have to show it to everyone and get made fun of. If you're born a loser with bad looks, shy and low intelligence, you're doomed to fail your entire life no matter how many jobs you work. Actually a decent, relatable meme for once. The next maturation of NEETs is coming. I wonder what this place will look like when the majority are over 25. Not good. NEETdom gets rougher with age. Video games, Reddit, YouTube and anime give less and less dopamine over time until they stop being pleasurable. Shame, anxiety and guilt intensify more and more. It's a trap really. It's better to try and get out. You learn to accept all the pain and disappointment better in your 30s at least. But yeah, the truth is suicide is easier said than done. It goes against our self-preservation instinct. But it's still a nice last resort if things get too bad. I find it comforting that I could opt out if things get horrible. Where do you see yourself in your 30s? Everyone has moved on and you are too old for education or decent work. You are all alone because you decided to rot. It's already too late to change. Legit brutal question. The point of this thread is just a warning to the recent surge in coping NEETs who bury their heads in the sand to do something now before it's too late, because they take friendships, housing and opportunities for granted. To put things into perspective, even socially successful waging normies struggle with how grim life becomes as you approach the next decade post-college. Recent massively popular examples here, 3, 4 etc. As time goes on, so much of your drive depends on your LTR/GF and less on easily accessible social circles due to the changing dynamics in adulthood. Unless you are a complete autist/schizoid who prefers to reject social connection and live in isolation, the copes will inevitably run out. Realistically speaking, I know my life is going nowhere. No one will hire me, and nobody cares about my artistic endeavors. But even still, I guess I'll keep up my artistic output even though absolutely no one cares about me, on the off chance that someday it works out and I can make a living as an artist. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to take dumb, shitty jobs. Killing myself remains an option if I get sick of it all, but I most likely won't. Unless I get some kind of terminal illness and don't want to live through it. I'm 28 doing my degree currently, but missed a lot of social skills and how 28 man should be. Good for you, man. What are you going for? I'm 25, not a NEET, but I still live with my parents. I'm going back to school soon to get my teaching credential. NEETs who go into education get a glimpse of hope. But the main problem is that most ex-NEETs would struggle reintegrating themselves back into society late 20s with such a large gap in social experience. Say you go on a date to find a partner, she talks about previous experiences and asks about your life, travels and previous relationships. This is where most would falter. She would be disgusted and appalled at the lack of growth in your prime. Like many things in life, there is a point of no return. I stepped off the social ladder years ago, The Trevor later of NEET bumps me along in life perfectly well for my needs. 33 haven't worked a day in 10 years, only worked 0 hours for 3 years before that. Was hicky before that after dropping out of 12th year. I'd still be hicky if it weren't for a stubborn guy from an MMO getting my defenses low enough that we crossed paths. Earl keeps trying to shell me but I like it in here. Damn, NEET girls are rare. Also your MMO story looks like something from fairy tale or web series The Guild. You are one lucky human. There are quite a few NEET girls out there but we tend to keep quiet. There's a lot of sentiment that girls can't be NEET because we can just marry some guy. That's just silly. Of course we can be NEET. Thinking about the MMO situation, it does kinda seem like a webcomic or manga now I think about it. I usually prefer solo play but ended up in a guild before I knew what was happening. They're a bunch of misfits like me, didn't fit anywhere else but still had forced group content to clear. The guy met me all by chance when I had a hospital appointment and had to use a train, lost my pass wallet cause I'm an idiot. He was station staff, got on the train to return it, got in trouble cause he ended up 2 stations over, cause he recognized the gaming name on a loyalty card in there and I'm one of the only people with that name online. It's a mashup of my Earl, who knows? Maybe everything will be exactly the same. Maybe I'll find an intense passion for something obscure like fish behavior and focus on that. Maybe I'll hang out in the garden more. Maybe I'll get hit by a bus next time I go outside. Stranger things happen all the time. Far as I see it, all I can do is see where things go and do the best with what I have. A small group of friends I trust, a comfy bed, enough food, lots of things to learn and stories to explore may not be extravagant, but I like things that way. Yep, I'm 23 years old and a huge disappointment to my parents. When I look at my mom, she's so depressed it hurts. I wish I could have been a better son for them and not the attention-seeking man-child that I refuse to stop being. Years of therapy have done nothing to stop me from being a whiny little bitch. All I've done in life is play video games and jerk off. And I'm pretty sure my will kill theme selves any day now cause they have nothing else besides taking care of me. Never had a GF or friends to bring home, no degree, no driver's license, no sports trophy. I'm so sorry, Mom, I wish I could have given you the child you deserved. TBH, your parents have part of responsibility of bringing you up like this. Also society probably damaged you in high school deeply. So it's not 100% your fault. Almost 32-year-old here. Being a NEET has only gotten better since I embraced it. I am a man-led, so getting laid was never on the table, but I apparently have an above-average social life. I'll probably never be a millionaire, but I'm definitely living more comfortably than the 50% of working Americans who can't afford an unexpected $500 bill. It's not all you need, but embracing your NEETdom is the first step. If you aren't happy living how you're living, other people won't enjoy your company either. Said the guy with rich parents who bought him a house.